Greatest movie ever. 10 out of 10. What am I doing?
I don't know. I just shared everything. I did my part.
Yeah. My part is just to sit here and do nothing. Right. Oh, this is episode 6. What are you doing? Why are you not?
I don't know what's happening.
Why is this happening right now? Why? My ears are bleeding now. That was terrible. Man. That was the worst thing ever. Oh my god. That was bad. Did I subscribe to the Economic Times? Why? No. You can't hear the. It didn't play the music.
No, the audio from here doesn't go into the stream.
Oh, great.
I have to get an.
Makes me sound like I'm crazy.
I have to get I have to get another cable.
How do I unsubscribe?
What are you talking about?
I somehow subscribed to the Economic Times on my Facebook, on my YouTube.
YouTube's.
Okay.
I was about to write Hello Cat Room. Hello Cat Room.
Trying to think of a title. I can't.
That's fine.
Think of a title. Director, connector. Rick Hates. Quentin Tarantino. I misspelled his whole name, so that's good.
He doesn't deserve to have a name.
Whoa. Okay, that's a weird. That's a weird. Misa Jar Jar. Oh, we should also. Oh my gosh.
So we can do that on the second episode.
That's fine. We'll just talk about a bunch of random stuff on the second episode. No, random episode on the second episode.
No, should we do that first? Because D23 stuff all just came out now. The next one should be.
We can do both. We can talk about that and then talk about the directing because that's going to be a smaller chat. And then what?
What do you mean?
It's going to get not as lengthy.
Right. So you're saying do them in the same episode?
No, yeah, do them in the same. No. Can you do it separately? So do the other episode.
Well, because we don't have topics for the second episode.
Yeah, we do. We're.
Oh, the deepfake stuff.
Yeah, so we can talk about. Okay, so you want to do that? So the first episode will be D23 stuff
and deepfake.
Deepfake stuff.
Yeah.
Less movie, and then we'll do Rick Hates Tarantino.
Yes. Okay. And Robert Rodriguez.
I don't need to put all that in there. Gosh. Deepfake lasagna. No, I don't know what that means.
I don't even know what that means. Someone else is watching this, and I don't know who they are.
D23.
You should say hello in the chat room. Hello, chat room.
D23 lasagna. No.
Go into your chat room and say hello.
Deepfake. State. Lasagna. Why do I keep saying lasagna?
I don't know. You have some obsession with lasagna.
It's like I'm Garfield.
Are you suddenly Garfield? That's exactly what I was going to say.
What do you think about the I'm Sorry John stuff?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You don't know what I'm talking about?
Is this where he's wearing Garfield's head as a mask?
It's a whole bunch. It's a whole subreddit genre thing where he's like, they basically made Garfield a Cthulhu monster.
Oh.
And he's like creepy. It's so hilarious. It is so funny. And he keeps saying, "I'm sorry, John."
I saw one where there's this cartoon of John in just his underwear in the bathroom. He's just like looking at himself. And he's got Garfield's face as a mask.
Yes, that's what... It's this whole weird thing.
I don't understand.
I don't know. It's this guy, he decided to make some Garfield like horror art. Okay, and so he made Garfield into these weird configurations and all this crazy crap. and then like it got so much response on his Instagram, so he started making more, and then people just took off with it and went insane, as they do with everything. And so they made movies, like little skits, animation.
Okay, so now that I'm thinking about this, let's do D23 and directors and last movie. Second episode will be deep fake and internet memes.
Internet memes? Okay, that's cool. Cool. We can talk about Area 51. Do you want to talk about?
Yes.
Okay, so we're gonna talk about D23 directors.
Yes.
And then okay. So what about D? What? Oh, we're gonna talk about. Are we talking about Marvel stuff too? Because I don't. I mean, I feel like we did that. Are we just gonna talk about Star Wars?
Let's do Star Wars and maybe the
Star Wars
Spider-Man split. Do we need to talk about Spider-Man split?
A little bit. Okay. Star Wars Spider-Man split. You're seeing how the sausage gets made on the day of. It's almost like I just butchered a freaking
this
pig.
One person that's also watching.
Okay, cool.
Reveal yourself.
What if it's nobody? What if it's I mean, not that person's nobody. I feel terrible about it.
What if it's Garfield?
I'm sorry, John.
Full circle, everybody. Full
That's
circle.
How we do it. We haven't even started yet. Cool. Okay. Good. I have nothing on the screen. This is gonna be great. Let's do it. Doing it live. Let's go.
You know, I don't like using that phrase anymore.
Why?
Because I feel like it gives him some credit, and he's a terrible person.
He's a terrible person.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, whatever. I'm gonna keep doing it because I'm a terrible.
It's like
person
doing.
too.
It's like doing Hitler memes. Just that
whoa,
keeps him in pop culture.
Whoa. You just went right there.
I didn't do that.
So what? Do what?
You did the salute.
That's terrible. That's really bad. Okay, let's get out of this episode. Let's shut it down. Hi, and welcome to It's Going to Get Stupid, your favorite pop culture podcast. My name's Jose.
And I'm Richard.
And we're here to talk about stuff. Yay! We need like a little thing that goes boo 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 brr, 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 like that. But like a really sad version, like I just did. Not a really excited like party horn version, but a brr, brr,
So
brr,
do you
brr.
want a soundboard?
I know. I just want one little button that just does that little sad horn. But not the sad horn from Price
And then
is Right.
another one that goes magic, magic, magic.
Oh, I forgot all about that. That was good. No, the sad horn. Like that. But no,
I'm pretty sure there's one on the internet.
like that or something.
Yeah.
Like a underdeveloped horn. I don't know.
Like a preteen
A
horn?
preteen, yeah, prepubescent horn. Oh, what happened? The horn.
Why did it turn into Mickey Mouse all of a sudden?
Because the horn has hormones. And it's changing, and his voice is fluctuating.
If you want to reach us, find us on Facebook or email us at itsgoingtogetstupid@gmail.com.
I don't know what the other ones
Find
are.
us on Facebook.
You can't switch. It's
Facebook.com/itsgoingtogetstupid. Twitter @IGTGS show. I'm just taking over. Instagram, it's @itsgoingtogetstupid. YouTube, search for
This is YouTube.
Search for It's Gonna Get Stupid podcast. We are streaming on Twitch periodically during the week. So subscribe.
It's terrible. You know what you didn't get on Twitch?
What?
Our win.
I didn't.
The one win we
got. You know why I didn't get on Twitch?
Why?
Because the night before it kicked me off 3 times.
Oh, is that what you were?
And I was done.
Twitching.
Or feel free to give us a call at 281-698-7538.
Awesome.
The lines are open.
Yeah, do it. Go for it. Yeah. So, something happened recently. A little expo, little trade show, little, I don't know, Disney fan service thing.
What is it called? D23.
D23. Why do they call it D23?
What's the club name in Disney World? Isn't it
D23?
Isn't it
the
23?
official Disney fan club is what it's called.
Yeah.
So it's a Disney fan. Why is it D23? That didn't explain anything to me at all.
You know, you can buy Disney Plus right now for 3 years. Yeah. You have to pay up front for like $4 a month.
It's like $100-something.
Yeah, but you get it for 3 years.
It's a really good deal.
It is a good deal.
But I'm not going to do it because I'm a chump. So there you go.
Yeah. Anyways, D23 happened. A bunch of stuff got announced. We got a glimpse at Marvel Phase 4, which I know we talked about in the last couple episodes.
We did talk about a lot of that.
We did.
I don't think we should talk about Marvel stuff.
Outside of the Spider-Man split. So it looks like Spider-Man has gone back to Sony. I've heard, which Kevin Feige's coming out doing his whole like press control where he was like the Spider-Man relationship was never meant to be forever. And so who knows what's going to happen.
So I mean, the thing I heard. I'll just give my hot take on what I heard is that Marvel told or Disney told Sony, hey, Kevin's not going to be your producer. He's not going to be executive producer for the movies anymore. Like, we still
unless you give us 50%.
Well, we're not going to allocate resources to that because we're not getting enough profit. It makes sense. Yeah, that's a good business decision.
It is a good business decision.
And so they said, if you want him to be on it though, it's going to be a bigger cut. Yeah, because he's a huge resource. And Sony was like, nah, we'll do it on our own. Don't worry about it. Because they're like, we don't care. Because honestly, they're going to make money regardless of what they put out.
I mean, look at Venom.
They're just going to make money. They're like, well, I don't think they're hyping it like some people are saying, oh, they think they're big because they got Venom. No, they just realize that Spider-Man as a property,
it's going to bring in
similar thing like Batman versus Superman. Okay, they're going to put a movie out. Most of the people don't care about the split or anything. All they're going to see is there's a new Spider-Man movie, and they're going to go watch it. And it may be crappy, but they're going to rake in a bunch of money from it. Yeah. So that's what Sony's thing is like. I don't understand why I got to give you more money. That doesn't really make any sense. Peace out. We're gonna go ahead and do it on our own. Yeah. And then they thought, okay, well now we don't even need to ask them anymore to put him in all these other movies. We can do a whole bunch of stuff with Spider-Man. Yeah. Again, Sony just think it's stupid. Okay. Yeah. I think it's stupid on their part because I want to say they make more money partnering with Disney.
They're guaranteed more money.
Yeah.
They have the potential to make more money on their own if they actually knew what they were doing.
It's never gonna be good enough.
Right.
They can't do it.
Yeah, I've heard rumors that there's another deal already in place where there's going to be like 7 more Spider-Man movies now. Who knows? Whatever.
I think if they're going to do it again, they're going to do it on a case by case basis with a bunch of caveats that Sony wants to put in.
Yeah.
Because I mean, and how far does Disney? What the question I really want to ask people is, does Disney even need Spider-Man?
No.
They don't.
No.
And I don't think people understand that Disney does not need Spider-Man
because they built the MCU with four of the least known characters.
Yeah. And one of them, the Hulk, was a well-known character, but had done very poorly in the theaters.
Yeah.
And even with their own, did poorly in theirs. Yeah. They figured out a way to make it work. But I mean, they threw in the Guardians of the Galaxy. I mean, they just make gold out of stuff, man. Ant-Man, like nobody, even that, like any MCU film, even the ones I hate at the lowest quality, are still better than a lot of other superhero movies.
Than any of the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man movies?
Yes, because those are terrible.
They really
are. Marvel follows a formula, but the formula is entertaining. That's the thing. The formula is entertaining, and it makes sense.
Yeah.
Whereas the Amazing Spider-Man does not make sense because they just don't know what they're doing. Yeah. They don't have somebody like Kevin that really is painstakingly figuring out, okay, we can't do this, we can't. So that you have to work really hard to like point stuff out.
They don't have a conductor leading the orchestra. I was going to say an orchestrator.
That works too. They don't have an orchestrator.
And then I thought the word was composer, but it's not that either. It's conductor.
They also don't have a composer.
No,
nothing.
They don't. But the other big news that came out of D23 was we got another Star Wars trailer.
Yes.
Feature.
So
or trailer.
That was weird. That wasn't a trailer. I don't know what that was, man. It was like another teaser.
It's weird because Disney released it as a Star Wars Episode 9, like a deeper look, and then they have another listing where it's like official trailer.
Trailer 2, right?
Yeah.
But the first half of the trailer is
just reminiscing
all old movies, all the old movies.
Yeah.
And the biggest thing is Rey as a Sith. Okay, I'll just right there. There's a bunch of other stuff going on.
Yeah.
Nobody gives a crap about any of that stuff other than Rey as a Sith.
Yeah.
First off, she's not a Sith.
No, that's a vision.
Obviously,
or a clone.
It's obviously a vision. I don't know if it's a clone. I really don't think they're going to do that. I really just think it's a vision.
She looks weird. Like her face is all gaunt and everything. So I imagine it's a vision, much like Luke had a vision of himself in Vader's mask.
Yeah.
Right.
And I mean,
when he was in Dagobah.
Yeah, and so she also had a vision in the. This is her struggling.
She went straight to the dark.
This is more of her struggling with the dark side, and that's cool. That lightsaber, why do they keep doing this, dude?
I don't like it.
Why do they keep doing this, Rick? I don't understand. Like it. Like, he did the same thing with Kylo Ren and his lightsaber. Like, do you remember the memes that came out when he put there's like all this little offshoots.
Well, it was the same thing. It was the Sith Army knife.
Yeah, it was
when hers spins out and there's all the all this other the little fold out saber.
Why would you need that?
So it shows up. It shows up in Rebels, I think, with a droid, like a trainer droid has that saber, but it looks better in the cartoon than it does in the Sith vision.
Okay.
I don't like it. I don't like it for a couple of reasons. One, I think the handles are way too long. on it.
And but it's supposed to, because it's supposed to make a staff.
Right, but when it kicks back, like it looks like it's about to fly out of her hands when it unfolds. Here's the thing: if you're gonna do a double-bladed lightsaber, just do Darth Maul's.
Yeah,
like his work.
Like
his work.
Literally, Darth Maul just got 2 lightsabers and super glued them together.
He put some Gorilla Tape on there and some super glue, and he was good to go. He's like, "Look, guys, check this out." You know, and honestly, like his still works as a single-bladed saber if he really wants to.
Does that one not?
No, this one doesn't. Like because both of the things are like this, so she'd have to wield it in some weird way. I don't get it. It don't make no sense.
It doesn't make no sense. Maybe it looked dumb, but then again, so did Kylo Ren's. Like then I was like,
Kylo Ren still looks dumb.
It still looks dumb. It still makes no sense.
Yeah, still makes no sense. Especially when you compare it to like Luke's old saber or anybody else's.
It's a cool lightsaber.
It's just a cool lightsaber. Yeah. Like it make like there's no reason for them to reinvent the wheel. I'm back. Okay, we can go back. We can go back.
No, go ahead. Talk about it.
J.J. Abrams is overrated. And here's the reason why. This actually includes Spider-Man too. A couple of months ago, there was this big tease. So there was all this kind of internet rumbling about like the script for Sam Raimi's next Spider-Man movie was going to get released somehow, and then Marvel started throwing out these teaser posts on Twitter with just a number, like they were counting down with Spiderweb all over it. Mm-hmm. And so it started out with 4, and then went to 3, then 2, and then another 1. And what it boiled down to was J.J. Abrams and his son, I don't know, Hank Abrams or Henry Abrams. I think his name is Henry.
If his son is Hank Abrams, that's dumb.
Him and his son are writing a Spider-Man comic book. I think it's a 6-part series. Mm-hmm. Spider-Man comic book. I don't care. Like, I don't care that.
But what is that? How does that prove that he's overrated?
Because no one else would care about Henry Abrams writing a comic book if his dad wasn't attached to it.
Yeah.
And so, but now there's all this fanfare for it, and it does, like, can he write a comic book?
It's amazing.
It could be.
But
should it get all this marketing potential just because
is overrated?
Abrams? No, it's canceled.
And it was complete trash.
Yeah.
And then this happened to be like, yeah, he's a little overrated. Like, he has enough star power to do this. I get what you're saying, though. You're frustrated with J.J. Abrams because you don't think he's that great of a director.
Not anymore.
Enough to even make his son get anything.
No, right.
But he is, and he does a lot of good moves.
I used to be a huge big fan of his. Like, I love the mystery box concept. He did this TED Talk a couple of years ago where he has this mystery box that his uncle gave him, and it's one of those things that you never open it, right? Because it's a box of mystery. And so if you open it, then that mystery is gone. Like, you either realize it's empty or you realize what's inside of it.
So that's how
so he's kept it sealed for the entirety of his life, from childhood to his adult life. And honestly, that's how he makes a lot of his movies. For example, his biggest probably TV series outside of Lost, Alias, right? You have this whole...
I literally forgot that he made Lost. Now I also hate J.J. Abrams again.
You have this whole like Rimbaldi story in Alias with the red sphere and the red liquid, right? None of there's no explanation.
Never.
To any of it.
Oh, so that's why Lost was like that.
And so that's his box of mystery, right? Like there's no...
He never wants to give an answer.
He never wants to reveal everything about it because he wants to leave that mystery there. And that's fine for a while.
Did you know that J.J. Abrams is a co-writer of Armageddon?
There we go. It's gone full circle. It all makes sense now. That's where he got the lens flares from.
Oh, probably. But he was a writer. He wasn't a director. He was just a co-writer.
Anyways, my point being is like I feel like he's gone away from the mystery box concept where like he really thinks about that, and maybe he hasn't. I don't know. From my perspective, I feel like doing things like Star Wars and Star Trek has maybe put him in a place where he's just kind of comfortable in doing this and feels like he can do whatever he wants.
Also,
yes,
J.J. Abrams has not directed too many movies. Did you realize that?
Has he done 10 just like the other director we're going to talk about?
Mission Impossible 3,
yeah,
Star Trek, Super 8, Star Trek Into Darkness, Force Awakens, and now he's doing Rise of Skywalker. That's pretty.
So
that's crazy.
Where he's director?
Yeah, like, where he's the director.
Just those 5.
Just those 5. He hasn't directed many movies. I just think he's
But he's cut his teeth in TV.
What I think is, I mean, you know, Lost, Felicity, Alias, a couple Office episodes.
Even Felicity, I mean.
But here's the thing about Abrams. I think the problem is not his directing.
Yeah.
It is that he's attached to a whole bunch of things.
Right.
So he's like all over the place to the point where you think it's kind of like Tim Burton. Everybody thinks Tim Burton directed Night Before Christmas, and he actually didn't at all.
He produced it, right?
He's like maybe an executive producer or something on it. So like he kind of blends into certain things, because the movies that I just listed off that he made, I love each one of those films, except I haven't seen Super 8, but I heard it's pretty good too. So Mission Impossible 3, probably one of the best of the original. Well, I don't want to say the best because the last one was the best one.
So 3 starts off in this. 3 is where
kind of kicks off
this story that leads into 6 kicks off.
Yeah. So, but I mean, it was really good. Like top. If you think about the past 2 Mission Impossibles and that third, that one was really, really amazing. And it had what's his name?
Michael Fassbender.
No. Did it have Michael Fassbender?
No. I'm thinking Superman. Henry Cavill.
Nope.
But that's not what you're talking about.
Mission Impossible 3, the third one. It had old boy played Capote in Cold Blood. Dang it.
Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Yes. Had him in it. As the really good villain.
Yeah.
Really good villain. Okay. Also, Star Wars-ish news. There's going to be an Obi-Wan Kenobi show.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
I'm fine with.
Hello there.
Yeah, as long as Ewan McGregor.
Hello there.
Like, I want to see him walk in. Like, I want there to be. It's nighttime on Tatooine. There's a little fire going, and then every episode, Ewan McGregor walks out with the robe on. He goes, "Hello there."
It's
and then he goes into a story.
Kenobi stories. Oh, that's what they should call it. It should be old Kenobi film stories. Lizzie McGuire is back.
Sure. Oh, Mandalorian.
Dude,
that trailer
looks awesome.
Like, so I'm gonna say this right now. I think Boba Fett's overrated.
100%.
Because he's in the whole saga for like 10 minutes, and everyone loves him. One of my coworkers has a tattoo.
Well, now he's in
of Boba Fett.
Oh no, you're right.
He's literally in the entire thing for 10 minutes. This Mandalorian trailer completely shocked me, and it shocked me in a couple of different ways. The story looks actually interesting. The production quality is what shocked me, because even the CG stuff looks like it's going to be on par with, and what they've been leading to, that Disney Plus, like the Marvel and the Star Wars stuff, is going to have the same production quality as the movie productions that they're doing. It literally looks like it's true to its word.
Yeah, it looks like a solid. So what it showed me, right? Because I saw a couple of trailers of stuff that's going to be on Disney Plus, but this is the first. If everything is that same quality or better, they're going to blow everything out the water.
Because it's like you could do everything in the movies and then release like Babylon 5,
Spectrum, and stuff that they've made themselves. So I'm pretty excited about what's going to happen with Disney Plus, because I witnessed that Mandalorian trailer. I was thinking, this is going to be stupid.
I 100% agree.
It was so dumb, but I was like, oh, this is pretty cool, because I didn't want a Boba Fett movie. I didn't want a Boba Fett show.
No.
But this is not a Boba Fett show. It is The Mandalorian.
Yep.
It's different.
So I'm hoping that with, I think The Mandalorian looks great. Look forward to it. I'm hoping with the Obi-Wan TV series, maybe we get what they were trying to build up in Solo with the Crimson Sun or Crimson Star. I hope that this is where we get that storyline. Where we see him
I don't even care if that comes
where
back.
We see him and Darth Maul go at it.
I don't care if anything in Solo ever happens ever. I hope it implodes on itself and never returns.
No, I really hope.
I get what you're talking about.
I really hope this is where we get the Maul and Obi-Wan reunion.
I wonder if it'll all kind of.
That's what I'm saying.
And I wonder if they're gonna have stuff in Skywalker, Rise of Skywalker, that's gonna tie back in. I bet it will.
It might,
because they're just good at it.
Yeah.
Lady and the Tramp.
Didn't even watch it.
Okay. Look, I think these live remakes are dumb.
Yeah.
I liked Aladdin, but I still think they're dumb.
Yeah.
Okay. I liked Aladdin because it was a lot different than the cartoon. Actually, that was a lot different.
They changed it just enough to make it his own thing.
Songs are similar, but not. You know?
It was a nice homage to the original.
Yeah, with updated and newer stuff, and not as misogynistic.
Will Smith was not as creepy as
He was a little creepy. creeping on that handmaid.
But he was not
He's
as
so
creepy. But she was hilarious. Nassim Pedrad.
Oh, she was great.
She was great.
It's funny because she played Princess Jasmine.
Yeah.
So sorry, I lied. But the quality of the Lady and the Tramp looked really good, and I was like, okay, another plus. Then I also saw the trailer for Noelle with what's her name? The chick, what is her name? She was Scott Pilgrim. Anna Kendrick. So Anna Kendrick is playing Santa Claus's daughter.
Yep.
That show looks good too.
Haven't seen the trailer.
It looks great. It looks like a fun Christmas movie. Like, I'm excited about what Disney's putting out, even though I hate them. Yeah. I do. Terrible company that just eats everything. So yeah, a lot of cool
Disney is Galactus.
Yes, it is. And then Jeff Goldblum, the world according to Jeff Goldblum. Great.
Hard pass. Hard pass. Over Jeff Goldblum. Don't care about him. Don't ever want to see him.
Is he also overrated?
Don't care. Like,
what is wrong with Jeff Goldblum?
I mean, he was fine, like in Jurassic Park and a few other things.
Oh, he was really good in the movie Hotel Artemis.
Sure.
You see that movie? It's really good.
Okay,
see
great.
Hotel Artemis. Okay. Is there something in D23 that we missed other than the Marvel stuff which we talked about last time? Email us. It's going to get stupid at gmail.com.
Tweet us at IGTGS Show.
Join the conversation on Facebook, facebook.com/it's going to get stupid.
Do something on Instagram at it's going to get stupid.
Go to YouTube and type in it's going to get stupid podcast, and you can see us live on Sundays or not live any other day.
Watch me play kind of mediocre to bad Apex Legends on Twitch. With it, look for it at It's Gonna Get Stupid, and watch Jose play decent.
Yeah,
at Apex Legends.
Barely decent. Go ahead and hit up our website, www.itsgoingtogetstupid.com.
And then give us a call at 281-698-7538. The lines are open.
The lines are open. Okay, so Richard made known to me, probably on this podcast earlier. I'm not even sure if he said it on the air or not. But we were talking about movies, and I said I really wanted to go see Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And Rick said, I hate Quentin Tarantino. I hope he dies in a fiery car wreck. And I was like, whoa, that's terrible. No, but he just expressed he's done with Tarantino.
I'm done with it. And a lot of it has to do with the way they market his movies and just the fanfare about him. Like, I'm sounding super hipster right now. I get it.
I knew Tarantino before he was Tarantino.
I like one. I would say that the best movie he ever did was Reservoir Dogs, which was his first. I even don't like Kill Bill as much as I used to. Inglourious Basterds is great.
Phenomenal film.
It's fun.
Phenomenal.
So here's why I like Reservoir Dogs better. It's not funny.
Reservoir Dogs is hilarious.
There's some interesting parts to it that it's just a solid, good story.
Yeah.
But it doesn't become comical. To me, at least.
No, I agree.
Like, whereas Inglourious Basterds becomes comical.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Pulp Fiction became comical. I haven't seen Hateful Eight. I haven't seen...
Hateful Eight does not become comical at all, and it's not for everybody. Django also doesn't become... I mean, she is a little comical.
Yeah. And I haven't seen Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Don't care to see it. I'm probably not going to see it. But it's like when they release his movies, for instance, the way they were marketing Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, it was like the 9th movie from Quentin Tarantino. I don't care. Just make the movie. Like, I don't care if it's the 9th movie. He says he's going to retire at 10. Go ahead and retire at 9. Because I don't want to see a 10th one. And if the 10th one is this Star Trek movie that he's been trying to get out for a long time, no, I don't want to see it.
But that's the brand. That's that makes sense.
I'm over the brand.
But that's the way to do it, though. But okay, so putting his brand aside, I mean, not putting aside, but putting his movies in light of the brand, do you think his movies suffer because of Quentin Tarantino in the way that Tarantino, you know what I mean?
For me, they do. I'm not going to say universally because I know people have the right to their own opinion and they have the right to be wrong. Most everybody is wrong about this one. For me, when I start to see, I'm also in the minority about this. I'm a huge Apple fan, right? Like, I carry an iPhone, I work on a MacBook Pro, I have an Apple TV at my house. We have each like I have an iPad, Holly has an iPad. Like I'm in the Apple ecosystem. All of our movies that we buy for the kids, they're all through iTunes, whatever. Steve Jobs was too much for me, and the reason was because it stopped becoming a part of what Apple was doing, and it became what Steve Jobs was doing.
So I think that's the point that I was talking about before. Is like, when does it just be a very good movie worked on by a lot of people,
right?
Or it become the only reason it was good is because Tarantino is involved in like what kind of impact a director's outside, whatever it is, whether it be political beliefs or something else, affect whether you like his movies, his or her movies or not.
And so, for instance, when they were doing press for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, one of the things that kind of got one reporter asked was why Margot Robbie doesn't have a huge speaking role in it, because according to what other people have said, she doesn't have a ton of dialogue in it. Like she's mostly there, like she's playing the Sharon Tate character in this, and I don't even care about how he treated Bruce Lee in this movie. It's a work of fiction, so like pretty much every movie that he's done is like an alternate reality of what reality is, right? So if he wants to depict somebody in history like a certain way, fine, whatever, or in pop culture history, whatever. He just ignored the reporter's question. And I get like maybe that's not, there's a way to handle that, right? But I feel like just because he's Quentin Tarantino, he can just like he's like, I don't choose to answer your question.
Do you remember Empire Records?
Yes.
Do you remember when that kid got caught?
It's so pretentious.
Like, you have to do like journalists are doing their jobs, right? Good or bad or otherwise, it's fine.
That was a bad question for her to ask.
Yeah,
he could still answer.
But you could answer it and highlight the fact that it's a bad question. Like, hey, I mean, he could explain it. Yeah. But he doesn't feel he has to explain it.
Right. Like, he could have easily said, I actually disagree that, maybe she doesn't have a ton of dialogue in this movie, but her physical being is where she speaks. Like, that's her voice in this movie. There's a way to eloquently not answer that question or validate that person's opinion and still have a dialogue.
Or you could be like, hey, it's a period piece.
Right.
Talk a lot back then. I mean, what do you want me to do? You could have said anything.
You could have said anything, but just like she was like, I'm not going to answer that question.
So what I'm hearing is his movies to you aren't good enough to justify the way that he is.
Correct.
And so you're like, I don't care about his movies then.
Yes.
So is there any other directors that do that for you?
J.J. Abrams is starting to get that way for me.
He only has 5 movies.
I know, and I hope there's not a 6th.
I know you don't like Robert Rodriguez either.
No, but Robert Rodriguez, like, I don't know that much about him, like, on a personal level, because he kind of stays out of Hollywood for the most part. I want Robert Rodriguez to succeed, because I think his voice, being a Hispanic director and writer and movie producer, I think is very much needed in the world, and especially in Hollywood. My problem is that he gets too wrapped up into the technology of what he's doing. It's almost like James Cameron.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Right? James Cameron's the same way. I mean, I'm sorry, Avatar is a bad story. Or it's a retelling. It's a retelling of a bunch of different stories.
It's Ferngully.
It's Dances with Wolves. It's
not original. Which,
yeah.
I mean, you can say what you want about it, but the reason that it's successful is because the visuals. Visuals, and honestly, visuals aren't. I mean, they're. It's not that they're not good because it's amazing, but I don't care.
Right. I mean, I saw Avatar in standard 2D, and I was Angel. If you look at like Spy Kids, and you look at Shark Boy and Lava Girl, like, or even like the did he do Grindhouse, or was it?
He did the other Planet Terror.
Planet Terror. All of them are so, like, the special effects are good and they're interesting. Alita Battle Angel, or Battle Angel Alita, however you say that movie's title, it was really interesting. Like, visually, like, it was stunning, right? But then there's all these things that just get left either unanswered or not enough time to breathe and to really develop as a story, to where it just becomes a visual, it's just appealing for the eyes. I mean, like, I think he actually produced Sucker Punch, if I'm not mistaken.
No,
he didn't.
There's no way he did.
Okay, Sucker Punch.
Don't even bring up Zack Snyder in this dang conversation.
That's right. That's Zack Snyder, right?
I hate Zack Snyder.
So Sucker Punch was like that. Like, Sucker Punch got me based on the visuals, because the story wasn't really there. Like, in the trailers, you didn't really understand what was going on in the trailers. It really just enticed you by purely the visuals. And then you realize like this should have been playing in a 90s rave club on the big screens while like some DJ was going to town on some turntables.
So I will say so about Zack Snyder.
Yeah.
Okay, so I recently rewatched 300.
Yeah.
And visuals, amazing.
100%.
Like just some of the shots that he did, and it wasn't just the CG, but it was just the way that he framed things and put them in there. It was just really enhanced what was going on. But when you boil all that away, it was like a freaking paper thin story.
Oh, 100%.
And that was it. Like it doesn't work without the visuals.
Right.
And so I was looking at Rodriguez, and it looks like he also did Sin City.
Sin City, another one. The visual behind Sin City is great, but the story, how it translated from the comic book to the big screen,
I think it's a little better.
Yes, better. It was better. It was better.
But
so 300, I think, is only really good because Frank Miller had such a great source material from it. As a comic, that story is fine.
Yeah,
but it also Snyder does a really bad thing of where he looks at every scene as a movie, or like every scene is just as important as the other, and they don't connect, right? So you end up with these scenes that are just they're like standalone, right? And they don't build upon each other. With 300, he had the material to build those scenes upon each other, and so visually there was a bit more of a cohesive story. But then you look at Batman versus Superman, and it's just like hard cut after hard cut.
So what you're saying is it's a spectacle scene.
Yeah.
And that's good enough. Let's move on to the next.
Let's do the next spectacle scene.
There's no flow.
No, there's no flow to it.
Watchmen, I think, had similar things. There was just like stuff happening out of order sometimes, and it didn't seem like it was purposely done out of order. It just seems that that's the way they did it because it looked cool, and that's the problem. Like it looked cool. It doesn't.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to say something with the way because Tarantino does a very good job of that, like putting the way he orders
100%.
his movies. Also, Nolan, phenomenal job the way he orders his movies.
I will say the other thing about Tarantino is, and I know Reservoir Dogs is probably is I've stated that it's my favorite movie, and it's probably one of the goriest. Kill Bill, like the more that movie sits with me, like the scene where she's fighting the Crazy 88, it's just gore for gore's sake at that point.
No,
yeah,
no, it's a really cool. I mean, it's an homage. Honestly, dude, it's an homage to
I get it.
Kung fu slasher, like battle movies, and yeah, I mean, but it's in black and white because
she cuts off the lady's arms.
Yeah,
and she's just standing there.
She shows how ruthless she is now because of what they've done to her. It's a typical revenge movie. It is great. Like I think that every movie made in Kill Bill makes perfect sense and is an homage to like so many different films. I really like Kill Bill because it is an homage to a lot of different older films, and you can see that. Same thing with Inglourious Basterds, and honestly, not a lot of people I think like Hateful Eight. I think it's great because I went and watched True Grit, and if you look at True Grit and Hateful, but it was a similar type of film, man. I mean, honestly,
no, I get that. Yeah,
I like Tarantino.
Yeah,
but I get that him and the way that his brand is. Kind of infiltrates his movies, and so M. Night is another one, right? Perfect director where he becomes almost too big for his movies, and it becomes this hype train, and it just doesn't work for me. Also, M. Night puts himself in every one of his movies. Bad idea. Stop doing that. M. Night.
It is bad.
Stop doing it.
And honestly, one of my favorite movies of his is the one where he's in it the most, which is Lady in the Water.
Which everybody hates. Everyone hates that movie.
100%.
Every single person
100%
hates that movie. I love that movie.
My two favorite are Lady in the Water and The Village.
I don't like Village.
And most people hate The Village too.
Like The Sixth Sense and Unbreakable, pretty solid film.
See, and I didn't like Unbreakable.
Split is okay. I mean, it's not that bad. It was a good return to form.
Yeah.
And then
Glass.
Glass is stupid.
Yeah.
Just so
I still
dumb.
haven't seen that.
So dumb.
Yeah.
It's like such a waste, dude. He had such a good premise, and it was working really well. Like I was like, okay, it's gonna be good. Just screw the pooch. It was bad, dude. I don't know why. Yeah, but M. Night's another one. Like he gets on his own hype train or something.
He does.
I don't know what happens, dude. I mean, okay, putting yourself in the movie, one thing. Putting yourself as a writer that's gonna change the world.
Yeah.
A little on the nose. Like putting yourself as a main character in the movie.
I agree. What made me fall in love with Lady in the Water is the lore behind that he built.
Yeah. And Bryce Dallas Howard does Paul Giamatti and Bryce Dallas Howard.
Yeah.
Amazing in that film.
Yeah.
Very good. I think they're overshadowed by the fact that M. Night didn't direct it as well as he could have.
Yeah.
2, he was in the movie too much.
Yeah. Well, and I think his hype is what caused the Avatar movie, The Last Airbender, to fail.
I've never seen it. Is it okay?
It's if you're a fan of the cartoon, which if you haven't seen I've only seen Avatar: The Last Airbender cartoons. I haven't seen the Book of Korra. I need to remedy that. That cartoon is phenomenal.
Yeah.
I highly recommend it. I think it's 3 seasons, but it's such good storytelling. It has that quality that you like in Stranger Things, where it's like a group of kids that are trying to like find their way to kind of defeat evil. And then the very last episode, they actually did a 2-hour movie production for it. They actually had an orchestra score it. Like they just went all out because they didn't know if they were going to get a chance to do it again. And it's a phenomenal ending to a great series. And he had such good source material, but he changed too much when he did the movie, and it just didn't work out well.
Yeah. So I mean, and I think that being a director, right, is you're setting the skeleton, the theme of the movie, getting everybody to have the same vision that you have for what the movie is going to look like, and you try really hard. I know that sometimes, like with especially bigger movies, there's a lot of like executive interface and all that. But you look at these guys where they have these, like, I mean, a Tarantino. I want to throw Scorsese in there because Scorsese movies are phenomenal. But he's an old school kind of guy.
So is Nolan.
He's not gonna, and Nolan too. Nolan's just classy. I just think he just makes movies.
Nolan's classy. The dude wears a suit and a vest on set every day, for the most part.
Yeah, I think he's just like, look.
But see, like he does what I feel like a good director should do, where he promotes his movie, he talks about it, he does his job to get the movie out there, and then he steps back away from it and lets the movie speak for himself. Whereas every other one of these directors that we mentioned, outside of maybe Robert Rodriguez, because Robert Rodriguez doesn't stay in the spotlight he only stays in it for as long as he has to. But the others, like it's about them. It's like when the famous artists in like the pop era, with Warhol, right? Mm-hmm. Warhol was not about his art. In my opinion, I'm sure people will say I'm wrong. It was about who he was in pop culture, right? Like
is that what his art?
That's what his art became, right? Quentin Tarantino is about who he is, like his life or what he portrays to the public is his 10th movie or whatever, right? Like that's also something that he's producing. Whereas the directors that I truly appreciate, like Nolan, Scorsese's been a little bit more public lately than he has been. They do their movie, they do their promotion for it, they step back, they get back to work on the next movie.
Yeah, and all the directors we're mentioning here, they're not making crummy films.
No, they're not.
That's the thing. That's crazy, right? Because you could talk about some really bad directors like U-Bowl.
Yeah, he should not be allowed.
Joel Schumacher.
Again.
And
Jerry Bruckheimer.
Look. I was going to say Jerry Bruckheimer, but he made Bad Boys, so he can't be a bad director. What's it? The guy that makes explosions. I can't remember his stupid name.
Transformers guy.
Yeah. But Bruckheimer, too. Because he makes... Well, he's a producer. Bruckheimer's a producer.
Yeah.
Whoever the director is. I can't remember that. I'm going to look it up while you talk.
Oh, now I'm supposed to talk?
Yeah, you got to do it.
Anyways, I don't like artists that become bigger than their art. And to my point about Steve Jobs, Apple became less about what Apple was doing and about what Steve Jobs was doing. Michael Bay. That's it. He shouldn't be allowed to touch a camera again.
Again, he made Bad Boys. So, sorry. Michael Bay is great.
You shut your face.
Michael Bay is amazing.
He made 7 Transformers movies.
Did he make all those?
I think his name is attached to all of them.
I don't think he made them though. Let's see. Oh yeah, he did. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's only 5 Transformers movies actually. Oh, whatever. He didn't make Bumblebee.
No, he did not, which is why it's good.
It wasn't that good though.
It is good. You shut your face.
Look at Michael Bay. Well, see, I like Michael Bay. You know why I like Michael Bay? Because Michael Bay is Michael Bay. He's not trying to be anything else. Think about it. He's not a Tarantino, okay? He knows. He apologized.
He's a popcorn flick guy.
He apologized for making a movie that was terribly written and borderline, not even borderline, it was racist. Okay, it was Transformers 2. It was a terrible film. He wrote it and he apologized. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not a writer. I just needed to put a movie out. But Bad Boys, The Rock, Armageddon.
Okay, I'll give you The Rock.
Bad Boys 2, The Island, Pain and Gain. Oh, sorry, I said that. 13 Hours. Didn't even know he made that.
I didn't either.
Yeah, dude. Michael Bay is awesome, okay? Michael Bay has brought us some amazing things. I love him.
But also a lot of bad things.
He was also in Armageddon. Okay. As a NASA extra.
And we're back full circle.
He rolled the chair.
Did he?
Yeah, he rolled the chair. Michael Bay's great.
Anyways, that's all I want to talk about directors.
Yeah. So
I'm over it.
You're over it talking about directors?
I'm over talking about these people.
Are you mad about the directors?
No, I just...
So who are some directors you like?
I like Nolan.
Nolan's pretty good.
I like Rian Johnson.
Rian Johnson? Oh, yeah. He made
made Brick. He made
Brick is so good.
I just watched Brick for the first time
it's
2 nights
really
ago.
Good, right?
It was really good.
Brick is amazing, man.
Yeah.
And I thought, okay, so I was watching it.
That's his first movie.
I know. So Joseph Gordon-Levitt's in it, so I'm like, cool. Yeah. I like Joseph Gordon-Levitt in anything.
Yeah.
Except 500 Days of Summer, but whatever.
I love 500 Days of Summer.
Cool. Anyway, it's not a good film, but it's whatever. But anyway, I love Joseph Gordon-Levitt in anything. And so I watched that movie, and I was like, what is this? This is a weird film. Like, it was so weird.
It was, honestly, the dialogue in it, it was very Shakespearean for me. Like, in a modern way, like, there was a
flow.
There was a flow to it where it kind of had this Kubrick-y feel to it. Yeah. Where you almost needed your own dictionary. Like, I tried reading A Clockwork Orange, and you can print out a dictionary that goes along with Clockwork Orange so you can understand the words. I felt like I needed that for most of this movie.
No freaking wonder.
What?
I didn't realize Rian Johnson directed Looper.
Yeah.
Ugh, gosh.
Looper's great.
Done with this. Even though I like Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
You don't like Looper?
I just don't.
You hate time travel.
It's a time travel movie.
Yeah.
But you know what, though? I will say this. It's not my least favorite time travel film.
Yeah.
So, but...
you do like Back to the Future. You know that, right?
Back to the Future is amazing. That's not a time travel movie. That's a Marty McFly movie. That's a Marty McFly movie. That movie has nothing to do with time travel.
Nothing at all.
Everything to do with, like, seducing your mother.
All right. So it was a good 70 episodes.
It's what happens. I mean, he wasn't trying to seduce her. He had that boyhood charm.
Anyways, Nolan, I like. Rian Johnson, I like a lot. I'm trying to think of who else. It's really those two right now.
Well, I love Kubrick.
I do like Kubrick. Yeah.
What about Ridley Scott, dude? What about Steven Spielberg? Steven Spielberg.
I do enjoy Steven Spielberg.
Not the newer stuff.
No.
Yeah, it's not as...
It's gone off the rails.
I don't know if it's gone off the rails. I just know that movie wasn't good. Whatever the heck it was called. I don't even remember the name of the movie because I don't like it.
What was it?
Don't know. It's the one where the kids in the game, Ready Player One.
Oh, that was terrible.
That was terrible, man.
He should be ashamed of himself for that one. Talk about visual pandering.
He can't make everything can't be a winner, dude.
No, but that was terrible.
That was terrible. But you can't.
He needs to pay for his sins, Old Testament style. That one.
You can't discount.
That's probably really bad because I'm pretty sure he's Jewish.
Wow. And what do we do before the show? Yeah, great. Good job, Rick. Terrible. And on that note,
what was the last movie you watched, Jose?
The last movie that I watched was Jaws. No, it's not. The last movie I watched was John Wick 3. Finally.
How was it?
Finally watched it. Didn't like it.
Really?
I did not like it.
You liked the first two?
Did you watch?
I haven't watched it yet.
Okay, so...
Don't spoil it because I'm going to watch it next week.
I'm not going to spoil it. But ultimately, I mean, okay, here's the thing. It never stopped.
Okay.
Which normally is a good thing
Yeah.
in some movies, but I like John Wick stopping. And I feel like in the first one, there was a lot of
There's
time
large
between
chunks
action.
of dialogue.
And in the second one, there's less, but there's still some.
Yeah.
In this one, there's almost zero. There's almost zero. He is literally just going from place to place, doing stuff, eating crotches. It was crazy. Okay.
You know who I'm tired of? Ian McShane.
I love Ian McShane. You know why I like Ian McShane? Because I watched Deadwood.
Fair enough.
If I had never watched Deadwood, I would also be tired of Ian McShane because he's in everything,
and he's always Ian McShane.
He's not actually playing.
You know what that means, right? Excommunicado.
I tried to help you, Jonathan.
That was a terrible Ian McShane accent that I just did.
That was pretty bad.
Yeah.
But he's like that in everything. In fact, he is just playing the character from Deadwood
just
over and over again. But he was in Death Race, which is an amazing film, and he's still Ian McShane in that too. Death Race is great, okay?
Yeah.
Death Race is one of those movies that is not good, but I can watch it over and over. Anyway, the point, John Wick 3. So, the problem I had is that it never stopped, never let up. The choices he made didn't make sense.
Yeah.
And I did not like the ending one bit at all, ever.
Does it lead up to a John Wick 4?
I'm not going to tell you anything about what happens.
All right.
But it's dumb. It's literally dumb. It just doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
I plan on watching it this weekend. This upcoming weekend.
I was disappointed.
Yeah.
I was. And I really like the action. I'll tell you this. The action is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Okay? Also, didn't know why Halle Berry was there. Cool. Done. Didn't know why she was in the movie. Still don't know. Done.
Fair enough.
That's it. just go with that. So that's what I watched last. So
the last movie I watched was Minority Report.
Oh, solid.
It
was a Steven Spielberg film too.
Yeah, it was. It's a really solid movie. Mm-hmm. There's one scene that made me laugh in it. That movie is not funny whatsoever. There's some funny parts.
Yeah, but it's not.
But the scene that I'll describe in a second was not meant to be funny. Some really interesting artistic choices as far as like how the movie was shot. Like everything was hazy. Like the entire movie is hazy for like 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Like it's just super like futuristic hazy kind of thing. I really, the story still holds up with like the pre-crime. It's funny, you know that movie is responsible for us like having like touch screens and all these different things.
Oh really? It's
like with the whole like with these hand movements and everything like that. The year after that movie came out, people when this was
like how it could be
they were like every single like engineer, computer and software engineer, all started trying to replicate what he did.
But we do understand that while it looks really cool, it's very impractical.
100%.
And probably like your hand hurts at the end of it. Like it's not solving a problem.
Yeah.
It's not solving a problem at all.
No, it's not. Anyways, the movie's great. I still love it. It's really enjoyable. It's a great mystery, detective-y kind of movie. It takes place in the future. There's a scene where Tom Cruise has to get his eyes replaced. That's a fantastic scene.
Gross.
Super gross. Fantastic scene though.
Drinking the
Anyways, I highly recommend it. If you haven't seen it, watch it.
You know who's in this dang movie? Neil McDonough.
Yeah.
He played M. Bison.
The one scene that I found super comical is right after he gets framed for this murder that he's going to commit or may commit, who knows. He starts running, and what's his face? Colin Farrell, who plays the detective, who plays the young detective who is kind of the antagonist to Tom Cruise's protagonist. Tom Cruise is running away from him. Colin Farrell's chasing after him. They end up in a Lexus factory where they're making all these futuristic Lexus cars because Lexus is the manufacturer of the future. Well, anyways, he ends up in the assembly line and a car gets basically made around him.
That's pretty cool.
It was super cool, and it's great. And so Colin Farrell and his buddies are all like waiting at the window of the assembly line to see where he shows up, and Tom Cruise just kind of slowly like sits up. But then Colin Farrell does this number. He looks at him and he goes like that. Like I'm gonna punch you in the face when I get you. And I'm like,
why did you shoot at him?
Like of all the things, like he just looks at him and he goes like that with his fist. I'm like, this is the weirdest like playground scene in the like it's so weird in the movie. Like, why didn't you just pull out your gun and like point that at him?
Why did he shoot at him? I don't understand.
And so it was just really weird. Like that scene was like super comical to me. Great movie. Highly recommend it. Go watch it. Maybe not watch John Wick 3. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say don't watch John Wick 3 because the fighting was amazing and it was cool.
Yeah.
I mean, but it was just disappointing to me. And the second one really wasn't I mean, they're getting worse. Is the problem? Okay, they're getting as you go along. They're
law
getting,
diminishing return.
Yeah, yeah, really badly to the point where I'm just like, okay, you know what doesn't have that problem, and I'm gonna mention it. Fast and Furious does not have that problem. It's I would say it's just
it did same. until they figured out what they were gonna do.
Yeah, like after the third one, right? Yeah. The fourth one when they came back to Fast and Furious, then it started just going. It's just this. It's a steady line, dude. Hobbs and Shaw, though, I think it's up here. I think it just shot up, dude.
I still haven't seen that yet.
It looks great. Yeah, I want to see
it. It looks super fun.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Popcorn film.
They don't care. They're not here to be like, oh, we're serious about this. We're driving cars off of buildings and driving on top of buildings. Okay, what do you expect? Okay, do you expect acting?
At one point, The Rock is literally holding onto a helicopter and onto the back
Captain
of a
America
truck.
Style? Yeah, Captain America. He Captain America. He's a real life Captain America. Freaking. What's his name? Idris Elba says, "I'm the Black Superman in this movie." Okay, he's a super soldier.
I mean, is The Rock doing all the steroids in the world? Probably.
I don't think The Rock does steroids. Do you think? Hey, if you think The Rock does steroids, hit us up at itsgoingtogetstupid@gmail.com.
Tweet us at IGTGS Show.
You could post it on Facebook and expose them at facebook.com/itsgoingtogetstupid.
You could post a GIF of The Rock at It's Going to Get Stupid on Instagram.
Shooting up. You could go to YouTube and watch us talk about it. YouTube, just search It's Going to Get Stupid podcast.
If we get that subscriber count, guys, we'll get that custom URL.
Yeah, custom URL up in here. Hit that like button.
Watch us
smash that like button.
Play video games on Twitch at It's Gonna Get Stupid.
And you can go to our website www.itsgoingtogetstupid.com.
Alexa's freaking out. Or give us a call at 281-698-7538.
Alexa's still talking. She's taking notes. Anyway, that's all we got today. Oh my gosh, why are you doing this? Stop.
It's called Stupid.
Alexa, stop.
Alexa, stop.
This is a terrible way to end the show.
It's a great way. Don't kill me, Alexa.